The Ukraine National Police recently posted an image of a strangely textured object, warning that it is dangerous to health and even life. It appears to be linked to the ongoing conflict, but I'm having trouble identifying exactly what it is. Whether it's a component of a weapon, a piece of toxic material, or something else entirely, its purpose remains unclear. The ominous warning certainly suggests it poses a significant threat, but without more information, the full extent of its danger is hard to determine. Anyone know what this is? It's Butterfly Mine's PFM-1. PFM-1 is a scatterable high-explosive anti-personnel landmine of Soviet and Russian production. It is also known as a green parrot, or butterfly mine. The mines can be deployed from mortars, helicopters, and airplanes in large numbers. They glide to the ground without exploding, and will explode later upon contact. While landmines in general are pretty awful, the PFM-1 butterfly mine is particularly nasty. Because of its small size and mainly plastic construction, the butterfly-shaped device is notoriously difficult to find using metal detectors or other common methods. Now, however, it turns out that drones can be used to locate the things. It was found that because the mines conducted heat from the rising sun much more quickly than the surrounding rocks did, they produced distinct thermal signatures that were easily picked up by the drone's cameras. This allowed the mines to be detected with a high degree of accuracy. I came across this metal object while sifting through boxes of miscellaneous items. It's about the size of a hand, weighing roughly 700 to 800 grams, and is made of solid metal. The surface is matte, except for a circular section that seems to have a different finish. I tried doing a reverse image search to identify it, but had no luck. If anyone recognizes this object or has any ideas, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It appears to be a titanium hip implant, specifically for the femur where it connects to the hip. I asked a nurse about it, and she explained, "It's identified as an implant used in a hemiarthroplasty, which is a partial hip joint replacement typically used to treat a femoral neck fracture. However, she's not sure why someone would have it after the procedure. Besides cremation, another possibility is that it came from the patient themselves. It's not uncommon for implants to be removed and replaced in a procedure called revision hip replacement. This can happen for reasons like infection, misalignment, or using the wrong size component. Before the surgery, patients are asked if they'd like to have the old implants returned to them. After being cleaned with hydrogen peroxide, the implants are placed in a container and given back. The patient is advised not to open the container, though many people are curious and want to handle their implants directly. It's understandable, as it's certainly an interesting thing to hold. I found these soft metal objects while metal detecting under a pier at low tide in British Columbia, Canada. They were all found together in a small cluster, which piqued my curiosity. The rectangular pieces measure about 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and the text engraved on them appears to be in Arabic. The objects are tied together with a bright orange string, which stands out against the metal. They might be remnants of something historically significant or simply an unusual find. Any ideas? They're Hindu offerings. The top left, and also the second on the right, says Om Rahu Namah, which is basically a mantra, chant, for Rahu, who is one of the celestial beings. In my limited knowledge, Rahu is a shadow being, and his influence isn't positive. So I assume these are prayers or chants to remove the negative influence of Rahu. This influence on your luck and destiny depends a lot on your astrologic chart. Immersing objects is common in Hinduism as a way to complete the ritual. Also, tying prayer books and other holy objects in this similar manner is common. While walking along the beach in Miraflores, Lima, Peru, I stumbled upon a wooden object that washed ashore right as I was standing there. It's made of a dense, hard wood, although the back appears slightly more worn than the front, as if it's been exposed to the elements for some time. The most striking feature is a hand carved into the surface, with an 8-point star etched into the palm. The shaft of the object is adorned with a few decorative lines. Any ideas what this thing is? That's a ceremonial chanta. It's a traditional healer thingy. It may be a souvenir. but the fact that it was given to me by the ocean and on the day that happened to be my birthday means a lot to me, especially with what I've read about it being used in energy healing ceremonies and San Pedro ceremonies. I came across a weathered, clay-like object while exploring Pike Island along the Mississippi River in Minnesota. This piece is about 3.5 inches tall and has a cone or bell shape. There are no visible markings or inscriptions, and due to its weathered state, it's difficult for me to determine its age or purpose. The texture feels like dry clay, and it has an intriguing, almost delicate appearance. The object is open at both ends. The tapered end features one large opening, while the other end has 7 small holes. I've attempted reverse image searches to identify it, but so far I've had no luck. Any ideas what this thing is? It appears to be a spout from a teapot. The hole pattern is quite characteristic of teapot spouts, especially in traditional Chinese and other Asian cultural teapots. In these designs, the holes are typically drilled into the stem of the spout before it is attached to the main body of the teapot. This method of construction is a common feature in many handcrafted teapots from these regions. A strange object from Tiffany's was mysteriously given to my wife by her grandmother, who refused to explain what it was. It was likely purchased in the 1930s or 1940s, and all she would say was, "I used it as a young woman, but I don't have much use for it nowadays." The object is marked Tiffany & Company Sterling on the shaft, suggesting it's made of silver. Measuring about 10 centimeters or 4 inches in length, it's beautifully crafted, yet its purpose remains a mystery. Sadly, her grandmother passed away without ever revealing the secret behind this intriguing object, leaving me to wonder what it once meant to her. Any idea what it could be? It's tree branch muddler. It looks like it can be used as a drink muddler or a phone dialer. Who'd have thought that such a weird-looking thing could have not one but 2 possible uses? I came across a fascinating woven bamboo object in an antique shop in Kyoto, Japan. It's filled with small pebbles or rocks, and from what I could understand, though my Japanese isn't great, the owner mentioned that it had something to do with tea. I'm curious to know if anyone has more insight into what this object might be. Any ideas? They were called takejikago. These are tiny mock versions of what they used to use on riversides to stop erosion. Now they're mostly just decorations or hashi holders, chopstick holders, but they have much smaller ones. So your food-covered hashi doesn't touch the table. While hiking off-road in Bosnia, I stumbled upon a strange object. I immediately noticed the spikes near one end, which made me cautious. It's about 10 to 20 inches in length, and given its unusual appearance, we quickly decided to back away. At first, we thought it might be a bomb, considering the shape and spikes. I'm still not sure what it is, and the sight of it left us wondering whether it's an old military device or something entirely different. Does anyone recognize this object or have any idea what it could be? It's a Russian Heat PTAB 2.5 KO landmine. PTAB stands for Anti-Tank Aviation Bomb. We'll stay at a safe distance and contact the local explosive ordnance disposal team. Now that we're out of harm's way, we'll let the experts handle it.